In the last video, we talked about the two main categories of fat in our foods. The sterols were a meager 3% of dietary fats, but they have big implications in our body. Cholesterol is the primary type of sterol we eat. Our bodies also make cholesterol, so let's talk about this complex subject of cholesterol. When we think about cholesterol, most of us are reminded of the stuff that builds up in the bloodstream that causes heart attacks. But let's start at the beginning and see where that cholesterol comes from. We consume cholesterol from animal sources in our diet. Our liver also makes cholesterol. This is because cholesterol is needed in the body for important functions in the brain and for hormones. The problem is that due to the foods we eat, our body makes way more cholesterol than we need. So we eat cholesterol in animal sources: meats, dairy, eggs, and shellfish. This cholesterol we eat is then sent to our liver, where it is used for the many functions it is needed for. Then our liver also makes additional cholesterol from the foods that we eat. The extra cholesterol is packed into carriers that we know as HDL and LDL. These carriers take cholesterol to cells. Unfortunately, some deposits in our blood vessels. The LDL is the bad type that promotes buildup of cholesterol in the arteries. The HDL is good and associated with low risk of building up in our arteries. The way that we get cholesterol and whether it is packed into HDL or LDL has everything to do with the type and amount of foods that we eat. The saturated and trans fats that we eat go into the liver to make cholesterol that is packed in LDL. We have also learned in research that refined enriched grains and added sugars promote higher LDL carrying cholesterol to be made by the liver. On the other hand, the unsaturated fats promote HDL to be made by the liver. Exercise also increases HDL carrying cholesterol. This is why we call the unsaturated fats the good fats, because they cause the body to make more HDL, which is good for your health. And why we call the saturated and trans fats the bad fats, because they increase LDL, which is bad for your health. Now, the cholesterol you eat in your diet can also increase LDL, but because it's only 3% of the fat you consume, it is a relatively low effect on your total LDL levels. When we evaluate someone's risk of heart disease, we can draw labs to look at cholesterol, but we don't want to just look at the total amount. We also want to see the breakdown of LDL and HDL numbers. This should make a little more sense why, now that we have explained the difference. Low risk of heart disease is associated with a total cholesterol under 200, LDL less than 100, and HDL that is above 60. To sum it up, saturated and trans fat, enriched or refined grains, and added sugars cause the liver to make LDL carrying cholesterol. This carries a big effect on high LDL. We also eat cholesterol that in excess will be packed into LDL too, but it has a relatively low risk for high LDL. That high LDL increases your risk for heart disease. The unsaturated fats and exercise prompt the liver to make more HDL, which decreases your risk of heart disease. Thank you for paying attention to this complicated subject. Hopefully it cleared up some of the muddy waters surrounding cholesterol.